Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
We begin tonight with breaking news as a body has been found near the Red River in Fargo. The call came in a little before 9 tonight. The body was found near the dike and Prairie St. John's property. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie is live at the scene now, and she joins us with the very latest. Courtney, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Mike, I just talked with police and they told me that they did, in fact, find a body here at Prairie St. John's Hospital. The call actually came in around 6:30 tonight for a body found. They tell me that this body was found under about an inch of water. If you take a look behind me, this is where they found the body, behind these fences, and they're taking it out right now. Police tell me this is all they really know right now, but they are taking the body in right now to be investigated. Reporting live in Fargo, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
All right, thank you, Courtney. We will continue to follow this story. Stay with us here on Valley News Live 10 at 10 and on our website, valleynewslive.com, for the very latest. A warning tonight regarding dangerous situations along area roads. The warning comes from a tow truck driver who says he's been busy pulling vehicles out of water-filled ditches. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer shows you what's out there.
We have one in the Red River. We've been waiting for the river to go down to get that one out. We just got the one north of Grand in here yesterday.
Adam Krajewski has been busy. He's a tow truck specialist with Ed's Towing. And while business typically picks back up in the fall, it's been exceptionally busy the last couple days.
You don't have to go too far off the road to be, up to your door in water there with some of those ditches out there.
The culprit? All this water you're seeing in the ditches, especially around the interstate. And while all this extra work is good for business, Krajewski says they never want to see anyone get hurt. And he tells us a lot of these situations can be prevented.
That's the leading cause of all these accidents and spin-outs, that people are just going too fast for conditions.
And it's not only the interstates and paved roads. There's also wet road problems when you get off the beaten path. And even if you just need to pull over for one reason or another, you're reminded to be careful. The shoulders on a lot of these roads are very soft from all the water, and a lot of them have ruts like this one, which would be even more difficult to get out of if you get stuck. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
Some of the rural roads are so bad that the Clay County Sheriff sent out a warning urging residents to use caution on gravel roads. Sheriff Mark Empting says some of the roads are wet, slippery, and water could even be covering parts of them. A confusing case out of Grand Forks tonight, where police there got a report of a man swinging a large knife in a parking lot along First Avenue South. The man told them he was threatened by someone else in the parking lot, and that's why he had the knife out. Police couldn't find anyone else around, and no one there wanted to press charges, so the man wasn't arrested. They did, however, keep the knife. Parents and psychologists are pushing for mental health awareness in schools. Several states have already passed or filed legislation to allow mental health sick days. Alex Hagan has the details on what that would look like in Minnesota.
The Schmitz household in Rogers is home to 3 students, and their mental well-being is always at the forefront.
It's critical to who they are. It's critical to their functioning. If they're not mentally well, they're not able to learn.
That's why Mary T. supports the option of allowing mental health days for kids.
I want my children to learn the capacity to recognize them in themselves.
3 states, including Florida, Utah, and Oregon, have now passed or filed legislation to allow mental health sick days. Minnesota in 2009 passed a bill that says a condition that requires ongoing treatment for a mental health diagnosis qualifies as an excused absence, but a written note from a professional may be required. Minnesota Representative Jim Davney, chair of the Education Finance Committee, says he anticipates lawmakers having conversations about updating Minnesota's law for mental health absences.
This is actually probably for the first time equating physical health and mental health on an equal basis.
Mary Beth Lardizabal is a child-adolescent psychologist at Allina Health.
This new law is a great step because it destigmatizes the need to take a day to attend to our mental health. But we also need to have more mental health education in schools for staff and for students.
She works with their Change to Chill program. Allina Health now partners with 16 area high schools to help teens improve mental well-being.
Techniques to help our stress.
Back at the Schmitz home, Mary T. hopes these discussions continue even further.
Allow students to be well.
Two of the states that have already passed these laws include Utah and Oregon. Experts have called the laws a win and said students are quietly suffering from mental illness, and those will benefit the most. Parents with kids at Beginnings Child Care Center in West Fargo got a letter in the mail today. It stated that they're under investigation by Child Protective Services after a kid fell in a class and may have suffered a concussion. Before this incident, we had several parents and former employees tell us of issues with the child care facility. A Fargo mom says that she regrets enrolling her 3 boys there after her baby got a diaper rash and expensive allergy medication for her 9-year-old was lost.
When I would see my children's expressions of me having to drop them off or them begging me not to take them to daycare, something was definitely wrong.
Kids were handled rough from more than one teacher that I've seen from. Talked to, not very nice.
An attorney for Beginnings Child Care told us in September the accusations were false and part of a vendetta against the owner by a disgruntled employee and several others. North Dakota's Governor Doug Burgum has directed all government agencies to fly the U.S. and North Dakota flags at half staff today and tomorrow as a sign of respect for the memory of U.S. Representative Elijah Cummings. Maryland's 7th District Congressman died overnight at a hospice center in his hometown of Baltimore. A statement from his office says Cummings' death was due to complications concerning long-standing health issues. Despite drier weather the past few days, it hasn't been enough to end flooding problems in the Grand Forks region. As Valley News Team's Courtney Lockey shows you, the water woes aren't letting up.
Shop vacs, fans, and sump pumps galore. In this unexpected season of flooding, they've never been needed more. Hank's Hardware in East Grand Forks is having a tough time keeping the shelves full. Brandon Buckaloo has owned the shop for a little over 2 years. He took it over from Dad, who opened up about 30 years ago.
About a month ago, we got 5-6 inches of rain, and I woke up at 6 in the morning to my phone going off. Buddies needing pumps and whatnot, and we really haven't stopped.
Brandon says he can't remember a time they were this busy, and that they've had to double up their weekly order to keep up.
5 or 6 customers trying to grab me as I'm walking around the corner while I'm helping another customer. Try and tell them I'll be with them in a minute, and by the time I come back around the corner, there's a whole nother set of 5 customers waiting.
One of the many customers is Steve Simons, who has been here a lot over the last couple of days. His basement started flooding 4 days ago and hasn't let up.
About every half hour, every 45 minutes, we had to come in and start the vacuum, make sure it wasn't seeping, and it was a lot of sleepless nights. Like my wife said, it was like having a newborn again.
Steve and wife Libby have 2 little ones and full-time jobs. Add this mess to the mix, it hasn't been easy.
It's muddy, it's gross, you're worried about the mildew and the mold that's going to happen, and you want to save as much of your home and your belongings as you can.
But they're staying optimistic. Steve says it's a good excuse to remodel the basement, something he's been wanting to do for a while. In East Grand Forks, Courtney Lockey, Valley News Live.
We're told that Lowe's and Home of Economy have said that they have had to double up on the equipment orders to help the community get through the floodwaters. Fargo's helping with Jamestown's flood preparations. The city was asked and has committed to providing 40,000 sandbags in support of Jamestown's flood fighting efforts. The sandbags will be used to protect Jamestown from the rising James River.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with No Wait Weather.
All right, mostly moony skies as we look from our view at Luther Family Ford. The clouds building in, it's shielding a little bit of that moonlight out there as we head into and through the 10 o'clock hour. 51 degrees still on the thermometer out at Hector. Those winds still gusting over 20 miles per hour. Still a southerly component to those winds, so they remain warm. That Oslo area north of Grand Forks and many in the Northern Valley seeing very significant flooding. In fact, major flood category. We're expecting a crest tonight or tomorrow in the Oslo area before things start correcting themselves. Say south of Jamestown, that James River rolling near Adrian. And these are those large round hay bales that are floating down through the flow in the James River. Thanks, Eric Schrader, for taking the time to upload that video. And these bales, they had some problems getting under the bridge. They got stuck right there. So definitely a lot of water running through our tributaries and the mainstream Red River. 48 right now in Grand Forks. Jamestown, you're at 49, and Devil's Lake 45 degrees. Out to the east, we're holding on to 50 degrees. In Fergus Falls, Bemidji 44, and that's the same reading you have now in Baudette. A lot of cloud cover out to the west. It's pretty thick. For us, it's of the high variety. And as we look out to the west, we see a mixed bag of precipitation wonders out there for us tonight as we head to bed. Partly to mostly cloudy skies persisting, and the wind will be persistent throughout the overnight hours, keeping us from getting too chilly tonight. As opposed to 30s, we're expecting to start well in the 40s on our Friday morning. By midday, those clouds, well, they continue to build throughout the region. The wind gets pretty gusty, over 25 miles per hour at times. Heading into our afternoon and Friday evening, mainly after the dinner hour, there'll be a chance of a spotty spit or two of rain. Most of us will stay dry, and it won't be any significant rainfall amounts. 47 in the morning in Fargo, ramping up into the low 60s, a degree or two better than what we saw for today. Those winds will be gusty, once again, out of that southerly direction at around 25 miles per hour throughout the afternoon. A chance for some 60-degree readings down where the snow is bare. We will make that 50-degree mark once again in the Devil's Lake area as the snow melt continues through the basin. Here's a shot of what it looked like not long ago in McKenna. Thanks so much for taking the time, John, to upload your photo. Here's a look at your planning forecast. On Saturday, beautiful weather is expected as we hit 60 degrees. We're not expecting a lot in the way of winds. Then on Sunday, we have a transition. And this system, Sunday night into Monday, looks like it could bring some significant moisture to the area. Right now on Sunday, it moves in from South Dakota. So the Southern Valley and the Lakes country seem to have the best chance right now of seeing more significant rainfall from this system as we drop into the 50s and then 40s to start your work week. By the way, rainfall could be well over an inch for many across the area. Unsettled and cool into next week. So I guess, Mike, we shall enjoy the warmer temperatures the next couple of days while we can.
We always start to do that this time of year.
Indeed, yep.
Later on Valley News Live 10 at 10, an eye-opening investigation shows that there are toxic metals in a lot of baby foods. What that means for your kids after the break.